Hello, Andy Mack here. I've come to my shed. As you know, some of you, I my wargaming space is a family space, so I thought to make sure we get it out and get my I'm a Wargamer out. I thought I'd come to this shed, which is my wargaming space right now. So, pardon me if there's any aircraft going over or bits of garden tools falling on the floor. But here we are. So thanks for nominations. I think it's Curtis and Paul, but perhaps a few others. I'm very new to YouTube, so well done for sporting the new blood, as they say. So banging on. I am a wargamer. What inspired me to do YouTube? I think it's a number of things really. Personally, wargaming at our age, when you've got a full life and responsibilities. Some of us have families, but everyone has commitments in one way or another. It can be quite lonely as a historical wargamer. I don't have time to go to clubs, and equally, nothing more disappointing going to a club and being excited and then not really hitting it on the nail with people there, in terms of whether they're your type of people or not. I went from a sort of young man having loads of time, where I did lots of great memorable wargaming experiences and wargaming times, and met some lovely people who I've stayed friends with. But obviously, time nowadays is quite precious, and so the wargaming has been a kind of daydream, with painting and doing bits myself, but not really being part of a community or having good friends that I can chat with and things like that. So that's me, and then obviously with YouTube, it's like being like, I think Ralph Astley mentioned, it's like the demise of the good bookshop, and I shared with him that it's nothing when you're in a second-hand bookshop and you find a book that's right on your nail, your heart leaps. Well, it's a bit like that. When you're doing a hobby and you get a good presentation from a YouTube friend, and it's on the mark, on exactly in your interest area. It's a real joy, and it's a real kind of sense of engagement with the hobby, and obviously with others of a similar mindset to yourself. So, and I get a lot of that in the pressured lives that we live. I think it's great to have these sort of escapisms, and to feel that you're not on your own and there's other people doing it. It's been great. So there's that. There's also, I've got so much out of the hobby, I wanted to put something back in, and I wanted to champion mediocrity. There's plenty of you on here already who are pretty good at what you do. You do a great, beautiful figures, beautiful battle scenery, and top draw stuff. Well, I'm the guy in the shed with championing mediocrity, whether it's terrain, the figure painting, or the presentation. That's where I am. I'm the guy in the middle somewhere who gets quite comfortable and underachieving, and but keeping away from the floor. So that's me. I want to represent that sort of make people realise actually I can do a bit better than Andy Mack. So I'll do a YouTube and hopefully encourage new blood into the hobby. And there's wonderful people here who really are inspiring. It's to put fuel, hopefully, in their engine, to say, well, I was one of the guys who spent a year and a half watching your videos, and here I am now doing it. So it does work, guys. So, and we are watching. There's an awful lot, whether it's watching at the time or watching afterwards. There's an awful lot of us who do watch the hobby and watch you guys doing some excellent presentations. So hats off to you. Next question really. Where do you want your channel to go? Well, I want to get the technology good. I want to be able to just press a button and where you go. I want to get cameras, angles, so I can do my figures without having to shine at me. And because I work in 15mm, it's going to have to capture the figure painting to a degree, to make it interesting. 15mm just holding up something which you can't see isn't going to be much fun. But I do want to. So I'm going to try it with an iPad tomorrow. I'm doing my update tomorrow mornings. I got a window there, so I'll be doing a YouTube update on my painting for this week, which has been French infantry. But I want to just sort of get it to a point where I want to do some battle reports. I want to do some battles. One of the things about being a sort of on my own guy, not part of the club. I don't do much gaming. I think it's possibly a common thing for a lot of us at our age. So I think hopefully that YouTube will inspire me to put some, whether it's I want to champion solo wargaming, so put some solo war games on and try and work it so it's an effective war game as a solo player. But I've got some friends who I will cashier into taking on the odd command if I can. So I want to increase my space as well. That's what's something I want to go. So have a bit more space to do good presentations. Okay, but I'm not really ambitious. You know, I just want to develop it so I can get on. Where can you see it in where can you see it in 5 years? What will I be doing in 5 years? I want to do more periods. I'm working on Napoleonics, and Napoleonics is something I don't like to dip my toe into. So I keep sort of setting. I say, well, I'll come off the project mid next year, but in actual fact, I think it's going to be running for quite a few years yet. I've got Austrians, I've got Russians. You know, I do 1 to 50 scale at the moment, but I could probably condense it and make it into sort of you know, larger units for like general brigade, but 1 to 50, and I do the old WRG rules. But I like to get a bit more. I want to do Prussians, and I want to do a few of the sort of German states units or armies, I should say. So yeah, I don't know. I Napoleonic seems it grabs you, and it's kind of one of those things you just don't ever get over, or you don't really finish it, I suppose. So the Napoleonics is going to stay with me as probably the main topic for a while, and that will probably be 5 years, maybe more. So I'll go on and on and on. I've got some other hobbies. I've got Wars of Roses. I've got an awful lot of Wars of Roses stuff. I've got in my shed here. I've got English Civil War. I got boxes of them. So I like to convert some of them to perhaps 30 Years' War and do bits and pieces with that. All historical stuff. I like sci-fi. I got some sci-fi stuff. Some I think it's is it Full Force? I can't remember what it's called now. But the space ship game, really liked it. But I'm not going to be playing a lot of that. But so I'm just going to keep it mainly Napoleonics for the time being, with the odd sprinkling, hopefully to keep interest up, and do a few other bits and pieces just to make a bit of variety. Next hot one question: what would you do to make YouTube better? What would I do to make YouTube better? I think just have it so that the technology is good. Battle reports are very popular to watch. You know, I love watching battle reports, but have it so that when people are doing a game, you know, your pioneers, I know Curtis and Ian, they've been pioneering really the wargaming, and a number of others, Neil, and there's been lots of participants. But you know, hats off to pioneers. But get it so that you can have a game where it's good visuals, good camera angles, good lighting, and the graphics and everything are good on everyone's interface. So I'm not very technical, you probably guess. So get it so that it's a smooth running thing, and I have to say, if we can nail that, or if YouTube can nail that, then I really think you're going to get a lot of people coming into the hobby, because a fantastically painted armies, no matter what period, with an interesting scenario to play, and the interaction you get. I mean, in the UK we had the Time Commanders back in the 80s, was it, or 90s perhaps, television program, very popular, and that kind of thing. If you can do it well on a tabletop, I think it'll be awesome to watch. So yeah, if they can get the technology, I'm not worried about that down thumb or anything like that. It doesn't really bother me. You know, that's diversity, variety, and I'm all for that. And you know, me whispering on, I'm sure is going to cheese a few people off. Obviously, I like to keep politics out of YouTube. So politics and commercialism, there needs to be a monitoring of that if that gets too commercial. I'm the man in the shed, and I say to YouTube, you mustn't forget the man in the shed, or person in the shed, I should say, because it's important. The amateurness of our hobbies, or any hobby, is very important. If you become commercial too much, then you know, us guys in the shed with our war games armies that we never use, or rarely use, you're going to lose, quite frankly. So yeah, that's it. Now my nominees. Well, two quite easy nominees. I have participated in a number of painting chats, but I'm a bit of a late bird. I work shifts. I've got family, house and family, which my wargaming space comprises of a cupboard and a table, which is all, the table is shared by the family. So I have to wait till they're either in bed or they're at the house. So it does limit how much things like painting chats I do. But I have to say, when I have been there, and I've often come in very, very late to some, there's two characters who often pop up, and I give the old hand to them now because they do connect, and it's been lovely. We've had some late chats, and it's Jack Sarge in Tasmania. Great guy, lovely chap, and I really enjoyed, you know, the sort of one-to-ones, or myself. Bill Bushon being the other one, Arizona Bill, lovely guys, really have done a lot, do a lot in the hobby, great humour, great worldly wise, wisdom, you know, lots of wisdom there, and I really enjoy their company when we do have opportunities, which is rare, to chat. So Bill Bushon, I can't remember what his YouTube handle is now, but it's Bill. And it's not Bill, but it's there we are. Can't remember his handle, but Bill and Jack Sarge. Oh, there we are. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'm sorry I've whittled on too long in my shed. So don't forget the man in the shed. Thanks. Good night, and I'll see you with a presentation tomorrow on my French infantry. Andy Mac. Thanks very much. Bye.